Hello, this is Gary from VR Roundtable, and I'm going to be playing a little bit of Ropes and Dragons VR. This is a puzzle game, really, I guess you'd call it. It's split into 4 worlds. I've already gone through a couple of worlds actually, so yeah, let's just dive in and see what this game's all about. Start off on the first, most basic level. So, the environment's the first thing that will hit you in this. They're very, very colourful, very bright. They look great, and you know, it's just very clear. It's got a nice, clear, crisp look to it. I mean, they're great, really. The graphics very simple, but they work great in this context. Okay, so the idea of this game is to basically get that sweet thing, whatever it is, to that little fella down there. And the way you do that is you've got a wand, pull the trigger, and then you can slice through the rope. And that's basically the game. Although there's obviously a lot more to it than that when you get to the later levels. So just this one, for example, it's just teaching the very basic mechanics in these this first level. There we go. Now what it's done is it's done on a star system, as you can see, so you can play through the levels and you can get the maximum of 3 stars, or you can just play through, complete the level, get the sweet thing, the wheel, whatever it is, to this dragon, and you'll still get through the level, but it's got this, it adds on to these this replayability really, where you can play through the levels again and increase the number of stars you've got. It's an incredible looking game for how basic. I mean, I'm sure on the screen when you're watching this it looks very basic, but when you're in here it really does have like it's just a good environment. It's not a nice place to be. I know I say that sometimes with some of these games. It's a bit like Arizona Sunshine. I think the environment really sells that game to me, because although you're being attacked by all these horrific zombies, you're in a nice place, a nice sunny environment, and it looks great. And this is similar in the sense that you're in a nice place, not similar in the sense that you've got horrific zombies chasing you, because obviously this is a bit of a cutesy game, and that's fine. In fact, it reminds me a lot of these. It's basically like a mobile iOS type game in VR, and that's okay. I think they have their place as well. So, and it's a very enjoyable one to play. You do get a little bit addicted. When I started this game, you saw that I was actually let's see, where do I want to go next? I was actually played through the first 2 worlds, and I played through that in one sitting. It didn't take too long, probably only about 20-25 minutes, something like that, to get that far. So the game is probably about an hour long if you play through it in its entirety. But like I say, you can go back and replay some of these levels again. You can get the maximum number of stars on each level, and that will basically, the stars correspond to the coins. So if you get all the coins, you'll get all the stars. And it's just filtering in a few little extra mechanics that you can do now. And it does get a little bit tough. The later levels do get tough, I've got to say. This is all very basic. And this is one that I think your kids, if you've got kids that enjoy playing in VR, this is definitely one that they'd enjoy. I've not actually tried my kids in this yet, but I'm sure it'll be one that they'd enjoy. And there's actually games like this on iOS. You know, there's some called Cut the Rope, I think it's called, which work in a very similar way to this game. But there's something about this being in VR that really, really helps. So chop that one, chop that one, and then you can chop this. Now this bubble, when the sweet falls into it, it will rise up, and that's how you get it to that guy up there. As you can see, it's introducing all these mechanics very, very slowly. This way. Okay, so let's... hopefully, yes. But yeah, this was a game that the developer actually sent to us. It's actually due out for release, I believe, today. I'm recording this on Friday the 3rd of February. So yeah, I think that's when it's due out. The one thing I would say is I'm not too sure of the price yet. It didn't have a price, so that's something that you may need to consider. I can definitely recommend this game if it's at the right price, and I'd say something around, well, it's difficult, I mean, because it's got a high level of polish to it. Oops, failed. Okay, so I've still completed the level, but I've missed a coin, so I'll only get the 2 stars for this one. But yeah, maybe something around sort of $15, I'd say, $15 to $20, I think it's okay. Maybe not 20, I'd say probably $15 would be about the maximum, so that would be around sort of 10, maybe 10 to 15 pounds, which I can see this going for. It might even be, they might have done it even cheaper than that really, it could have got away with it. I'm sure they would have done, oh, failed. So it does start to get a little bit trickier. You have to time this one right, get that, chop it, there we go. Now I've missed that coin at the bottom, there's not a lot I can do about that now. So I'm going to have to stick to the 2 stars on this level as well. Okay, so is that all of those ones? So that's all the forest. But you've got all these 4 different environments. As you can see, I've played through the entire of the winters as well. Then you've got the island, which is the one I'm on. I've only done the first 2 levels on that one. Struggled a bit. Actually, let's try number 2 on that. This is obviously gives you the idea of the difficulty it can get to by this point. So these things over here, you've got teleporters, so the suite or wheel or whatever it is will drop down there, and it'll come out a teleporter. Now I think hopefully there's only one teleporter, yeah. So it'll drop down there, come out here, go down here. Actually this looks pretty straightforward, why couldn't I do this? Easy. 3 stars as well. So that wasn't a particularly difficult one. There are some that I've played that took me a lot longer to do than that actually. It's just working things out, and sometimes you have to be quite quick because the momentum can go on these things when it really needs to keep going to get to the next part that you have to get to. So as the rope swings, if it doesn't have the necessary momentum, oh, I missed that. So you have to pop the balloon on that part. Oh. Now what? Oh, nearly. Oh no. So yeah, I have to get this one quite right. Oh, I missed the coin, and I've missed that, haven't I? Got away with no. Yeah, so this you can take your time in a lot of the earlier levels, but by this point you really you're doing quick movements to get the get it from the start to the finish really. Not doing very well on this level. Missed that coin though. That's gonna annoy me. Let's see what's going on here. God, this looks a bit complicated. So there's a teleporter above him, so I guess you drop into that teleporter and it'll drop out here onto this guy. So let's see how we get on. Oh, I missed it. Okay, try again. I've got to pop the bubble before it gets those spikes. And again. These things catch it, as you've seen in some of the previous levels that I've done. Oh, I didn't catch it, I didn't release it at the right time there. Alright, so as it goes above that, let's pop blue. Oh, please. Oh, I forgot about that. It's got rope attached as well, so I've got to get rid of that rope now. Hey. not too bad. So yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning, the graphics are excellent really. Very basic, what you see them on the screen, nothing special. And even in here they're nothing special, but as we've said before, you know, quite often simple graphics can work the best in VR. I like detailed graphics as well in some experiences, but in a lot they can appear a bit too much in VR because of the low resolution of the HMDs, I suppose. So when you've got very basic clear graphics like this, which have, I don't know, maybe there's a little bit of sort of native super sampling going on in the game as well, because it does seem exceptionally clear really. And that's something that I really like in a lot of games. Might need to let that, oh no, there we go. See, some of the levels, it'll go to something that's quite difficult and then it'll go back to one that's quite easy. That one was pretty easy considering we're in one of the later levels. Again, this looks easier. Sometimes they can be a little bit deceptive though, the way they look. Not that one, that was pretty straightforward. So yeah, there's 48 levels in total on this game, split between 4 worlds. I'm sure the developers will be adding more to that. It seems like the kind of game that will get new levels added all the time. And that's no bad thing. So really, as I say, this is like a mobile type, iOS type game really in VR. So if that's really your kind of thing, then yeah, I can't see you being disappointed with this one. It's a puzzle game really, and it's a very good, very well polished puzzle game as well. So I can definitely recommend it. It's always good, you know, I got approached by the developer of this to try it out and just mention it. And it's always, you know, we don't owe them anything, and if we'll just give our honest opinions in these types of things. But it always shows sort of some kind of confidence in the product if they're approaching you and saying this is what we've got, if you can review it, that'd be great. Before release as well, that's the other thing. Oh, that worked out okay actually. Looks a bit more complicated than it actually was. So yeah, you've seen what it's about. The thing is, I can't recommend it for everybody, but I could certainly recommend it if you're a fan of these types of games. It's pretty straightforward, the type of game it is, and yeah, a very enjoyable one. Oh. Yeah, so that's Ropes and Dragons VR, and it's out today. As I say, I'm not too sure of the price, but if the price is right, I can definitely recommend it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.